Hello, everyone in YouTube world. I just wanted to let you know I'm recording this particular video from Taiwan, so I don't have my normal microphone and like I usually do back home. So we'll give this a shot. Hopefully the quality is good enough, and we'll go forward. So I actually found this quote, which is really the subject of today's quick video about California, the state that I live in and chose to invest in, potentially becoming a renter state, meaning more than 50% of the population are renters by 2025. I don't know about you, but that kind of shocks me. It's kind of like, 6.5, 7 years away. So I saw that quote, just knew I had. So again, we'll sort of review the quote in detail, sort of give credit where credit is due. We'll talk about what it means, and then if you choose to, how could you potentially profit from California becoming the land of the renter, meaning 50% or more are renters. As I mentioned, sort of give credit where credit is due. This came from CAR, California Association of Realtors. Projects by 2025 that California will be a majority renter state. Home ownership is becoming a luxury item, Appleton Young said. So you sort of step back from that and go, yeah, California is really expensive. Certainly has some of the most expensive places, the Bay Area, Orange County, LA, where it's frankly very expensive to be a first-time buyer. And it's been that way for quite a while, and at least given this quote, it's going to continue that way. So again, still shocks me to read this. I've now read this quote probably 100 times, and it seems like a real possibility, right? In less than 7 years, that the majority of California residents will be renters. Well, what does that mean? Well, if it's true, then now's the time, right? If you're not already a landlord, it's time to become one, frankly. If you are one, it's probably time to think about adding a property or two, right? If we're going to, in a time where majority of the population are renters, I don't know about you, but I think being a landlord is the right idea. This also came as a surprise to me. I think it was over a decade ago. We did a trip to Switzerland, and where we learned that insurance companies, were the majority owner of the apartment houses because most people didn't own in that country. So it's interesting to see, and there are precedents where majority of a population can become renters. So in the end, it's a good time to be a landlord if that's the case. The other thing is it's owning California properties is going to become increasingly difficult, right? If we go and believe that properties are rising and rents are getting higher, and we cross some threshold where people just default to being renters their whole life. The American dream of owning a house and all of that sort of goes away, and you're like, nope, my family was renters, I've always been a renter, and people just sort of default to that. And it's very possible that what's happening in the Bay Area and in Southern California could happen throughout the state. Maybe the high-speed rail and other things come to bear, and it's just expensive everywhere. And then, of course, when you are majority renter state, that means that the renters or the tenants, they're paying off the landlord's property, right? It's happening with greater frequency and the like. So again, being a landlord or owning an asset that somebody else pays for is never a bad thing. So how do you profit from this? First and foremost, you've got to buy quality rentals, and I would suggest conservative financing. What I mean by that is you don't get maximum leverage. Now's not the time to do that. Rates are rising. We are making that change from a seller's market to likely a buyer's market, and with that there are adjustments. So make sure you can hold for the long term, right? No reason to get over leveraged and suddenly you have to sell because you need the cash. So establish conservative financing. When you buy something, think about holding it for decades, right? It's not a 1, 2, 3, 4 year thing. It's not about holding it a year and a day for capital gains or anything of that nature, right? It's about owning something for decades and potentially owning it and passing it on to your children so that they have California properties that others are paying for. The other thing I think that's important, realizing where we are in California is to buy below the median, right? So in my market, I think it's still 256 or maybe it's 263, something of that nature. I like buying below the median and then just letting supply and demand sort of help you. Let appreciation happen. Let supply and demand help you. Let inflation help you. It's just the right areas to do that. And then finally, you got to get in the game, right? You have to execute. You have to have a plan, right? You can't become a landlord and own no property, right? So you need to buy your first one. You need to sit on that for 90 days. Make sure you're comfortable doing that. Then you need to set a plan, right? Do I want to buy one every 6 months? Do I want to buy one a year? Do I want to buy one every 2 years? I don't know what that is for you, but I do think you need to be doing something over the next 5 or so years so that you can let time in this history of California moving to a renter state help you. And again, you got to execute and you have to let time go by. That's really the key with real estate, sort of buy real estate and wait. That's the name. In the end, I just want to record this quick video. I am in Taiwan, so hopefully the quality is good. I'm recording this just on a simple, Apple microphone and headphones, so hopefully that works. If you can, do me a favor, leave a comment, hit the like button, and always, as always, subscribe if you haven't already. And have a wonderful day. Take care.